Hey Cam,
What's up, Cody?
do you want to tell us a little about Kyllo versus United States?
Sure, man. So here's what I know. Two agents had a suspicion that marijuana was being grown inside the Oregon triplex of Danny Kyllo. Knowing that growing marijuana indoors requires the heat of lamps, the agents used a thermal imager to scan the home. The results showed that the roof over the garage and a side wall of Kyllo's home was warmer than any other part of the house. Also, Kyllo's home was much warmer than that of his neighbors. From tips, utility bills, and the thermal imaging, a magistrate issued a warrant for the search of Kyllo's home. The agents found a growing operation involving more than 100 plants. Kyllo was then indicted on one count of manufacturing marijuana.
So, Cody,
What's up?
can you tell the class the history of Kyllo's case after he was indicted on manufacturing marijuana?
Sure. So Kyllo was taken to trial court where he lost. After trial court, he appealed to the appellate court trying to get his evidence suppressed, but once again, he was denied. So Kyllo asked for a writ of cert for the U.S. Supreme Court to hear his case. And the U.S. Supreme Court heard his case, and he won. So Cam,
Hey.
since the class has heard the history and the facts, what are the legal questions being asked?
The two legal questions being asked in this case are: one, does the Constitution protect Kyllo under the Fourth Amendment right against unreasonable searches? That would be the reasonableness clause. And two, did the government's use of a thermal imager on Kyllo's home fail to uphold his Fourth Amendment right against unreasonable searches?
Go.
Hello? Who's this? Oh, I'm not allowed to know. But there's being marijuana's being grown. In that building? Alright, thanks. Cam, we just got an informant tip that marijuana is being grown in that building.
That home right there.
Yes, sir, that home.
So now that we've got this tip from the informant, how about taking a closer look at the home?
With the thermal imager 9000?
Wait, you want to use that thing without a warrant?
Yeah, man, it's only a thermal imager.
Alright, if you say so. Alright, well, so far most of the triplex looks normal, but one of the homes, the air above the garage is coming out really warm. Something's got to be going on in there.
Really?
Yeah, I say we take this to the magistrate's office.
Let's go get a search warrant.
Alright.
We're here at the magistrate's office. We've been eyeing Kyllo's house for some time now. We have these thermal imaging standings, we have utility bills, and we have tips from informants. Can we get a search warrant?
Yes, that's the reason.
Got our search warrant. Let's go.
Now that we've got this warrant, we're going in. Where is it? We've got a warrant to be here. Hands up, hands up. What's going on here? A growing operation? Hands up. On the wall. Check this out. Would you look at this? Would you look at this, people? Keep walking, keep walking. There's over 100 plants in here. Yeah, we got a warrant to get you. We've been looking at you for a long time. Yes, sir. Keep walking, keep walking.
Oh, hey class. Since you've seen the case in action, what are your second thoughts on the legal questions? Remember, 1, does the Constitution protect Kyllo under the Fourth Amendment right against unreasonable searches, the reasonableness clause? And 2, did the government's use of a thermal imager on Kyllo's home fail to uphold his Fourth Amendment right against unreasonable searches? So class, now we're going to tell you how the U.S. Supreme Court answered these legal questions.
So for the first question, the U.S. Supreme Court answered yes. Judgment was reversed and the case was remanded. For the second question, they also answered yes. The Fourth Amendment Reasonableness Clause protects persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures.
Here's the reasoning of the U.S. Supreme Court.
The U.S. Supreme Court found its reasoning by putting the Kyllo case through the Katz test. The Katz test formed the privacy doctrine under two prongs: the subjective expectation of privacy and the objective expectation of privacy. Also, the U.S. Supreme Court put the Kyllo case through the Fourth Amendment test, which asked, was there a Fourth Amendment search? The answer is yes. Was the search unreasonable? That answer is also yes. And if so, which evidence was excluded? In our case, the thermal imaging scannings were excluded. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled, the Fourth Amendment stands the right of a man to retreat into his home, and there be free from unreasonable government intrusion. Technical advancements have affected the degree of privacy to which citizens are guaranteed. Inside the home, Kyllo had a reasonable expectation of privacy, and outsiders deemed his expectations reasonable. Going against these expectations of privacy would, in essence, be going against the promises of the Fourth Amendment. Government agents used a device that is not in general public use to explore intimate details of the home. That would previously have been unknowable without physical intrusion. This is a search. This search was unreasonable because it violated Kyllo's privacy. Because the search was unreasonable, the evidence provided by the thermal imager was excluded. The only elements of probable cause that remained were the informant tips and the utility bills. A warrant to search never should have existed.